Space, vast and unforgiving. It was a silent sea of stars and John felt like a lone buoy adrift. His ship, the Wanderer, was crippled. Caught in a freak cosmic storm, it was thrown light years off course. Now it drifted in the uncharted expanse, far from any known trade route. John was alone. His heart ached for his family, his crew, his home. Were they searching for him too? He clung to the faint hope of finding them. His gaze swept the endless expanse of twinkling lights, a chilling reminder of his solitude. The hum of the Wanderer's failing engines was a constant echo of his isolation. Days bled into weeks, then months. John rationed his dwindling supplies, his hope flickering like a candle in the cosmic wind. He was a prisoner of the stars, trapped in a cage of his own making, but John was no stranger to hardship. He was a space explorer, his spirit forged in the crucible of countless expeditions. He had faced down solar flares and navigated treacherous asteroid fields. This, he knew, was just another challenge, albeit a daunting one. He would not succumb to despair. He would find a way back to his family. He had to. John threw himself into the task of repairing the Wanderer. He spent his days poring over schematics, his hands calloused from welding and rewiring. Sleep came in stolen moments, his dreams filled with visions of his family's faces. He clung to those images, their memory a beacon in the overwhelming darkness. The universe had dealt him a cruel hand, but John refused to fold. He would find his way back no matter the cost. Months later, a glimmer of hope emerged from the black canvas of space. A blue planet, vibrant and alive, materialized on the Wanderer's long, dormant navigation screen. John's pulse quickened. Could this be it? A haven in the vast cosmic desert? He adjusted the ship's trajectory, his heart pounding with anticipation. As the Wanderer entered the planet's atmosphere, John was greeted by a breathtaking vista. Verdant forests stretched as far as the eye could see, interwoven with sparkling rivers and cascading waterfalls. Strange, beautiful creatures, unlike anything he had ever seen, flitted through the alien foliage. The air thrummed with an unfamiliar energy, a symphony of chirps, clicks, and whistles. John guided the Wanderer towards a clearing, his mind racing with possibilities. This planet could hold the key to repairing his ship, to contacting his family. But as he touched down on the soft, mossy ground, he couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The silence of the forest was unnerving, broken only by the gentle rustling of leaves. He ventured out cautiously, his hand resting on the energy pistol at his side. The air was thick with the scent of unknown flora, a heady mix of sweet and spicy aromas. The forest seemed to pulse with unseen life, watching him with 1,000 hidden eyes. John felt a shiver run down his spine. He was an intruder in this pristine world, a trespasser in a sacred space. The planet, which John had begun to call Azure for its vibrant blue hue, was teeming with life, but it was life unlike anything he had encountered before. The creatures were a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes, some bioluminescent, others shifting like phantoms in the undergrowth. John, ever the explorer, found himself captivated. He filled his datapad with sketches and observations, marveling at the intricate dance of this alien ecosystem, but Azure held its secrets close. Despite weeks of exploration, John found no signs of intelligent life, no cities, no technology, just the endless symphony of nature. His hopes of finding help dwindled with each passing day. His initial sense of unease, instead of dissipating, intensified. He felt a constant, watchful presence, a whisper at the edge of his senses. One evening, as John was making camp by a crystal-clear lake, he heard it. A voice, soft and melodic, carried on the breeze. It seemed to emanate from the heart of the forest, beckoning him deeper into the unknown. Curiosity warred with trepidation within him. Was this the breakthrough he had been waiting for, or was it a siren's call, luring him to his doom? He decided to follow the voice. Armed with his pistol and his wits, John plunged into the heart of the forest. The path was treacherous, winding through dense foliage and across rushing streams. The voice grew stronger, guiding him ever onward. His heart pounded in his chest, a drumbeat of anticipation and fear. He knew that he was stepping into the unknown, but he had come too far to turn back now. The voice led John to a clearing bathed in an ethereal light. In its center stood a towering tree, its branches reaching skyward like grasping arms. The voice, now clearer, seemed to emanate from the tree itself. It spoke of a trial, a test of worthiness. John, his skepticism battling with desperate hope, listened intently. The tree, the voice explained, was a nexus of energy, a conduit to the cosmos. It held the power to grant John his deepest desire, to reunite him with his family. But first, he had to prove himself worthy. He had to face his deepest fears, confront his past regrets, and emerge from the crucible of self-discovery. John felt a tremor run through him. Could this be real? Was this ancient being offering him a chance to go home? The voice, sensing his doubt, instructed him to touch the tree's glowing bark. As his fingers made contact, a surge of energy coursed through him. Visions flooded his mind, memories of his past, both joyous and painful. He saw his family, their faces etched with worry. He saw the wanderer, crippled and adrift, a testament to his own hubris. He saw his own reflection, weathered and worn, but his eyes still burning with determination. And then, he saw it, a vision of his family, safe and sound, their voices echoing in his mind. The tree was showing him the way, but the path was fraught with peril. Section 5. The Navigator. The trial was grueling. John spent what felt like an eternity lost in a labyrinth of his own creation, forced to confront the darkest corners of his soul. The tree, a silent observer, tested his resolve at every turn. It conjured illusions designed to break his spirit, to make him lose faith in himself and his mission. He battled phantom creatures born of his own fear, their claws and teeth tearing at his sanity. He navigated treacherous landscapes that mirrored his regrets, each step a reminder of his past mistakes. The weight of his loneliness threatened to crush him, to extinguish the last embers of his hope. But John persevered. He drew strength from the memory of his family, their love a beacon in the encroaching darkness. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he stumbled out of the labyrinth, his body and spirit battered but unbroken. He stood before the tree, his head bowed in exhaustion. The voice, softer now, filled the clearing. It spoke of his courage, his resilience, his unwavering love for his family. It had deemed him worthy. The tree then presented John with a gift, a small iridescent orb that pulsed with cosmic energy. This, the voice explained, was a navigator, a celestial compass that could guide him through the vast expanse of space, leading him to a place where he could find his family. It was a beacon of hope, a testament to his ordeal. Section 6. A Galaxy of Wonders. With a renewed sense of purpose, John left Azure behind. The navigator, pulsing gently in his hand, charted a course through the cosmos, leading him on a breathtaking journey across the galaxy. He encountered wonders beyond his wildest dreams, nebulae painted across the void like divine brushstrokes, stars collapsing in on themselves, birthing new celestial bodies. He encountered other intelligent beings, some benevolent, others wary. He shared stories and knowledge with them, learning of ancient civilizations and cosmic events that defied comprehension. He saw firsthand the infinite variety and boundless wonder of the universe. Through it all, the navigator guided him, its gentle pulse a constant reminder of his goal. He was no longer adrift. He had a purpose, a destination. His loneliness was eased by the knowledge that he was on the right path, that every jump through hyperspace brought him closer to his family. Section 7. Facing the Unknown. The journey, however, was not without its perils. The navigator, while powerful, was also ancient. Its guidance at times was cryptic, leading John to the edges of charted space and beyond. He faced hostile alien races, their technology surpassing anything he had ever encountered. He navigated treacherous spatial anomalies that threatened to tear the wanderer apart. He relied on his instincts, honed by years of exploration, and the skills he had acquired throughout his journey. He learned to decipher the navigator's subtle cues, to trust his gut, even when faced with the unknown. He fought when he had to, negotiated when he could, always pushing forward, driven by the unwavering belief that he would see his family again. He bore the scars of his encounters, burns from energy weapons, a limp from a close call with a black hole's gravitational pull. But he also carried with him the wisdom gleaned from his experiences, the knowledge that the universe was a place of both terrifying beauty and boundless possibility. He was no longer the same man who had first been lost in the void. He had been tempered by the fires of his ordeal, forged into something stronger, more resilient. Section 8. A Glimmer of Hope. Then, after what felt like an eternity, the navigator began to pulse with a different energy, a sense of urgency replacing its usual calm guidance. It led John to a remote corner of the galaxy, a sector shrouded in mystery and whispered rumors. It was a place known as the Whispering Void, a region of space where the fabric of reality was said to be thin. It was a place where stars were born and died in the blink of an eye, where time and space were fluid, unpredictable. Legends spoke of lost civilizations swallowed whole by the void, of travelers driven mad by its whispers. But it was also said that the Whispering Void held the answers to the universe's greatest mysteries, that within its chaotic embrace lay the potential for unimaginable power. John, his heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and dread, steered the wanderer into the void. As the ship crossed the invisible threshold, the navigator flared brightly, bathing the cockpit in an ethereal light. Then just as suddenly it went dark. John was plunged into darkness, the silence deafening. He was alone, adrift once more, but this time, he didn't feel fear. He felt a strange sense of peace. He was close, he could feel it. Section 9. The journey continues. The silence stretched, punctuated only by the hum of the Wanderer's engines. Then a faint signal crackled to life on the long-dormant comms panel. It was a distress beacon, its signal weak but unmistakable. It was a human signal. John's heart leaped. Could it be? Could it be his family? He adjusted the Wanderer's course, following the signal's faint trail. The darkness around him seemed to press in, but John held his course. He had come too far, endured too much to give up now. As the signal grew stronger, a shape began to emerge from the darkness. It was a vessel, its hull battered and scarred, but its running lights still flickering defiantly. John's breath caught in his throat. He recognized that ship. It was the Odyssey, his wife's exploration vessel. The same vessel she had been captaining when they were separated. He reached for the comms unit, his hand trembling. "Odyssey, this is John aboard the Wanderer. Do you copy?" Static. Then a voice choked with emotion. "John, is that really you?" It was his wife's voice. John's eyes welled up. He had found them. After years of searching, he had found them. The journey, however, was far from over. The Whispering Void was unpredictable, and the Odyssey was clearly in distress. But for the first time in what felt like a lifetime, John felt a surge of hope. He was no longer alone. He was going home.